Hope you're all still awake. Late Night Mega here. Now the game's going to start by auto-saving for us, even though I just did the save at the end of the last episode. We're going to turn momentum on. And we got a little bit too close to that. Yeah, when you get knocked down for a few seconds there. That guy got permanently knocked down. So we're in the midst of this battle against the Darkspawn, and... Okay. Yeah, look, we're really far ahead of Alistair. In fact, I feel like I've lost him, even though he's, like, right there on my... Okay, he's right behind me.
Help me, they're everywhere. You're Grey Wardens, aren't you? The tower, it's been taken.
What are you talking about, man? Taken how?
The Darkspawn came up through the lower chambers. They're everywhere. Most of our men are dead.
How did the Darkspawn even get
Then
this
we
far
have to get
already?
to the beacon and light it ourselves.
Well, I guess it's a good thing King Kalen sent Grey Wardens to do this job. And why is Alistair asking where the Darkspawn are if he can sense them? That's a good question. Probably just a casual plot hole oversight on the developer's part. Nothing, like, actually within the realm of the story and that. Another thing, okay, so while I'm in the menu here, every time the lightning strikes in the game, my controller starts vibrating. And I'm trying to find out if I can turn the vibrations off. I don't like those good vibrations. No, actually, I don't really like the controllers vibrating. Like, I get that it adds to the atmosphere, and that's the whole idea behind it. But it quickly becomes too obnoxious for me. And since it's happening like every 5 seconds, it's too obnoxious for me. It becomes more of a distraction than a benefit. Oh my gosh. Look how quick we're stabbing people. Oh, this is amazing. Why have I never used momentum before? Okay, momentum is insanely good. Definitely worth it. You know, it's really easy for me to read descriptions of abilities in games like this and be like, oh, it's only, it says it's only like a 25% boost to speed or whatever. It's not that big of a deal. I'll go after something different. I do the same thing with the Etrian Odyssey games too. If I'm left to just build characters on my own and build their skill trees. And so since we killed everyone, we're going to run around and pick up stuff. So yeah, the vibrations, it kind of just distracts me from what's actually going on. And I know there's some games you play where, like, you take a death or something, and then the controller just goes absolutely haywire with vibrations, and it's kind of ridiculous. We're not quite at that level at my point of playing this in this particular moment. It's really the weather that's doing it, and that's what really bothers me, because it's not like combat or action oriented. It's like atmosphere oriented. Oh well. I guess there's not much I can do about it, so I'll just have to live with it. But I would prefer to turn off, like, all vibrations if I can. I don't feel like it's ever been a necessary feature for me. I don't feel like it really adds much. Then again, I grew up playing, like, NES, Super NES games where there was no such thing as controller vibration in those days. There was in the N64, but you had to get like a special attachment to the controller. N64 controller is kind of weird. There's like this back spot where you can like plug things into the controller, not just anything, but specific things. That's where you would plug memory cards in, was the controller. Or you would plug in like the rumble pack, that's what let the thing rumble. And then the rumble pack itself still had to have like batteries, like to just plugging it into the controller wasn't enough. And then there were some other things you could plug in to an N64 controller. I remember you could plug in the thing that lets you put a Game Boy cartridge into your N64 controller attachment. It was for Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Stadium 2. I don't know if any other games ever made use of that. I think it was just those Pokemon Stadium games where you could plug in your Game Boy cartridge and transfer your Pokemon. I don't want to say transfer because you weren't losing them or anything. But you could use your Pokemon from your cartridge to make teams in the Pokemon Stadium games, and you can register your teams and then use them from the game later. And that is an example of why I like to explore around pretty much every corner. We found a treasure. I think the 10 experience we got from unlocking it was worth more than what's inside it, but oh well. Yeah, back to this is another one of my times where I'm just kind of like staring off and rambling about a topic when there's combat going on screen. I commented on combat at the beginning of this floor.
Darkspawn, hey?
Yeah, more Darkspawn. And we're detecting traps, and we're also running into traps. That wasn't good. That was a lot of damage. Yeah, if our health gets lower, I may have to use a health potion. I did figure out how to set a button to use a health potion as one of my quick actions. It would probably be a good idea to maintain that. Oh, nice. I love some of those alternate kill things. Another thing that I'm attempting... Do I do it here? I might do it in this episode. I might have already done it and just not paid attention because I was rambling. I turned the volume down for the background music. Maybe it didn't happen this episode. I don't know. I just feel like during the combat music and combat sound effects are just so much louder than everything else. I feel like it's hard to, even on like some of my editing, like I tried to tone down the volume on those sections. It kind of becomes a hassle because I don't want to... I'm trying to find that balance between my commentary voice and the game's audio. And it works, throughout the all rest of the game, except when we get to combat. And here's an example of where I'm going to get lost in a 3D area. I can't even call this a maze. I almost called it a maze. We're going to go in here and fight these guys. I'm going to just... This is another thing with Dragon Age RPGs like this. Like, you're just strolling along, exploring the area. And then, very suddenly, you just walk into a room, and it looks like there's only a couple guys, and then suddenly you're just swarmed by like 8 guys, and it's just this huge, big old battle. We got there, though. Again, make sure you check every object that you come from. I'm a little late to the party there. Make sure you check every sparkling corpse or sparkling wall or room decorations, because those give you treasures as well. Like there's a chest back there. And notice if it has like that lock thing, you have to unlock it. This is why I like having a rogue. If it has that lock symbol. These don't. They just have the normal treasure symbol, so you can get those with anyone. So yeah, it's always useful to have a rogue around to unlock those treasures. Although, I will say from my personal experience, 90%, it's probably more like 95% of the, well, 90% of the treasures you unlock in Dragon Age games. Oh, that is a big hole there. Don't want to fall into that. 90% of the treasures just aren't really anything major. It's usually like some potions, maybe a little bit of money, and just like a lot of basic equipment. just things we'll end up selling. But you know my philosophy. I stated it last episode, a couple episodes ago. My philosophy with money is, even if it's like not a huge deal, like that short bow, we're gonna sell that short bow. But you know what? We got experience for unlocking the treasure, and we do get some amount of money. It's more than zero, right? And more than zero enough times is eventually going to add up to, well, a lot more than zero, and we're going to have a lot of money on hand. So I'm going to be getting the treasures. I'm going to be selling the treasures. I always want to keep inventory space to get stuff like that so I can go back and sell and get money to buy things that I really need.
What are these Darkspawn doing ahead of the rest of the Horde? There wasn't supposed to be any resistance here.
Weren't you just complaining about not being able to fight?
Hey, you're right. I guess there is a silver lining here if you think about it.
Yeah.
At any rate, we need to hurry. We need to get up to the top of the tower and light the signal fire in time. Taron Loghain will be waiting for the signal.
And what happens if our party dies? Like a dozen times. Anyways, is this where I... Oh, this is where I adjust the volume. Haha, I was ahead of myself. So now we're going to try that. I'm only adjusting the music volume. It's the combat music. It's just so dang loud. It's so weird that they don't have a good balance here. Oh, that's like a two-handed weapon. I love her voice. I love the voice we gave her. You might also notice our weapons have been flaming. I should probably commentate on that instead of, you know, N64 rumble packs. So, the mage that joined our party, we have a couple temporary characters. They're not characters that we can mess with their equipment or anything. I don't think we can. We definitely can't right now. We're in battle. But, so we have a mage with us, and I think it's another warrior. Could be a rogue. But, yeah, they kind of just met up with us at the base of the tower, and they've just joined our party for this dungeon. So they're only going to be with us for this one dungeon. I see an enemy over there. Let's go trigger enemies here. Because I think if we go when we trigger the ones farther on, both those doors would open up and the guys would just come pouring out, and then we'd have to deal with all of them at once. As opposed to this method where we can just, you know, take out the ones hiding in each of these rooms and then go after the main one. That's usually a strategy I try to use when going about dungeons in Dragon Age. Take care of the side rooms first so you don't go further ahead and have just a billion enemies pour out at once. I know there's enemies up there. Okay, fine. We'll just go engage them, and then we'll go back and explore for treasure. Oh, we have ballistas here. We can shoot these just by examining them. Hey, we did damage. Cool, keep doing it. I don't know. Okay, let's go join the actual combat now. You're dead. You're dead. Hey, I said you were dead. You guys, cut that out. Notice with archers, we can interrupt their attacks if we get up to them, and it interrupts their concentration to fire a bow, for obvious reasons. I believe there is an ability that archers can get that will reduce that happening, or stop it from happening altogether. But early level archers, as you can see, don't have that ability. I don't know if later ones will. I would imagine they do.
Done, naturally.
But just a guess. These books. They give us codex entries and 50 experience each time. Then again, you already knew this if you've been watching this whole series, because this might be the first time Zagana's run into a book. She was reading... Was she reading? No. We ran into books in her intro. That's right, she's just City Elf. I was thinking of the Dalish Elf, where we were reading, like, trees and stuff. That was weird. Was I talking about the flaming sword? Yeah, so the mage that's temporarily in our party, has this flaming swords ability, or flaming weapons ability activated. And you also might notice that, like, anytime we hit an enemy, see there's like a 9, and then it says +4. I think that's it. Oh gosh. Awesome! Super extra kill. There's like an extra 4 damage attached to her attacks, fire damage. Is a nice bonus to have. That reminds me. Maybe when we get a main mage, we should. Now here, I think that this is like the top. There's a boss battle coming up. Okay, I will tell you this. There's a boss battle, and so I want to drop a save before getting to the boss battle. I think it's the 3rd floor, from my memory. Again, my memory from playing this game like a decade ago. Or almost a decade ago. Yeah, a decade ago. It came out in like 2009. I think after playing Dragon Age 2, I tried going back to this Dragon Age. Like I said, I've made at least half a dozen attempts on this game. Never got all the way through it. So yeah, like half this game is going to end up turning into a blind playthrough. Just exploring the room. Always want to do that. Always want to get all the items I can.
More darkspawn, hey?
Yep, more darkspawn. See that guy behind the corner? Yeah, I stunned that guy. I really should have went off after that guy. I have a tendency of like trying to target archers and ignoring like all the other things. Oh, another thing is, this isn't necessarily the best strategy, just run to the back and deal with the archers, because it's the other warriors that are really dealing more damage to us. But in certain battles, you might see some mages appear, and you always want to kill the mages really quickly, because they can do tons of damage with their spells in a very short period of time, and it's not good for us. It's not good for our party. Is that a dagger? It's just a basic dagger. Could probably use that in my offhand. Yeah, the gray iron dagger. It's better for the offhand. So yeah, the flaming weapons is a sustained mode by the mage. And so that's why our weapons are flaming. Oh, here we go again. I'm not sure if you heard him or not. I heard him and said that lever releases the hounds, so let's do that. And that releases all these Mabari that were just sitting in the cages. I don't know why the Darkspawn didn't kill them before. Don't know. But it's just a cool little thing that can help you out with this battle, should you desire it. I know my first couple times playing, like, I didn't really grasp that whole concept, or what lever are you even talking about? And I'm like, enemies, kill enemies first. Yeah, if you pull the lever, release the hounds, it can make your battle easier because you have a bunch of hounds joining us. We also leveled up in the midst of battle. You cannot actually go into the menu and level up during combat. You have to clear the area of enemies before you get to do that. What? Oh, we get a skill. These are the skills. I'm gonna get trap making. I believe this helps us in detecting traps as well, or it just takes our cunning stat to detect traps. We do need to get that master combat training, but it's not a super rush. Then again, I don't know what else we're going to dump skill points into. Maybe coercion. Coercion might be the next one. Improved coercion. Lethality, I don't know if we're supposed to be making a beeline towards that. I'm checking my... Like, I'm supposed to get below the belt. We'll try this below the belt skill. Dirty fighting is nice. Even though it has a really long recharge time, it lets us stun our opponent. I'm kind of hoping below the belt does something along the same line, because we want to be stunning and paralyzing our enemies, and then, well, pummeling them with the backstabs. That's the general strategy with our dual-wielding rogue. Another treasure. War Paint of the Wolfhound. You may be wondering what this is. It's for the dog. It's
Over with.
the weapon that the dog can equip. There's not... Yeah, dogs don't get to carry swords and stuff like that. They have like one weapon slot and one armor slot.
And I'm
There is also friendly fire, if you're wondering why I'm on fire. That's because the cone of flame that the mage used kind of ran into part of it, so I think we took some damage there. Doesn't seem like we took much damage, though. Alright, and now with everybody dead, we go back, collect all the treasures from everybody. And sometimes, like there, we got, what was that, 15, 19, 13 copper? Really tiny amount of copper. I can't fully read that. I could read the one. I don't know what that second number was. Again, from the editing screen I have. But yeah, we want to pick... It adds up. It does add up. And there's some really expensive stuff to buy in this game. Lesser injury kit. Those will be useful. Those are what we need to heal injuries from when someone dies. More injury kits. And the other items we're getting here are just like crafting items. More injury kits. Yay! It's like this game is expecting us to die a lot. See, I'm getting pelted by arrows, and it's kind of annoying. But it seems like we're all kind of ganging up on one guy at once, which it has its advantages and its disadvantages. Disadvantages, you get beat down by all the other enemies at the same time. But the advantage is you kill enemies really quickly and go hopping from enemy to enemy, and pretty soon you got the whole group down. Weapon stand. It will not stand for this. Alright, well, it wasn't the third floor we meet the boss, it is the top floor. There's definitely a boss there, and we're going to deal with him next time. Yeah, we're going to end a little bit early, but I know the boss is going to... Boss and the cutscenes afterwards are going to take some time. So, I will see you guys then.